Hi, Simon Trezellian here, and welcome to what I'm going to be calling the Lockdown Chronicles. Now, I'm going to be, over the next few days, just giving a few insights into some of the things that are going on. A lot of you know me, I'm former Special Forces, I've been in these type of situations before. So I know some of the things that are going on, and I can only speculate on some of the things that I think will probably be happening. So if you're coming here for medical advice, don't speak to me, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you medical advice. There are plenty of sites at the moment that will actually give you some really good advice on things like symptoms, what to look for, what to do, what not to do. You've all heard about social distancing, washing your hands, all of the basic hygiene stuff. So that is the baseline of really what you should be looking to do. The first thing to do in any type of crisis is to stay informed. This is really, really important, because you can only make decisions based upon what you know to be true at any one moment. Now, also, there are a lot of agendas that are going on worldwide, so where you get your information could be actually quite critical. Certainly don't be looking for a lot of information from your Facebook friends, certainly in regards to sort of medical issues or anything like this. So there's a lot of hysteria, and therefore, in order to get informed, that allows you to stay calm, because it allows you to actually work with what is real as opposed to what is imagined. And most of the time, what you imagine is going to be far, far worse than really what is true. So over this next few days, while I'm in lockdown and I'm doing what what I think is sensible, I'm going to be talking about mindset, I'm going to be talking about protection, I'm going to be talking about communication and what to do in an emergency. But first of all, you've got to know who your enemy is. There's a couple of enemies here. First of all, of course, we've got the COVID-19 virus. Your virus right now is the thing that is threatening you. Not necessarily threatening your health, because it's always there. The flu virus has been around, certainly for as long as I've been around. But the virus itself is a living, breathing thing. Therefore, it has a birth, it has a life cycle, and it also has a death as well. Now, like almost every other viruses, they will also have a rebirth. So it's likely to be with us for some time to come, just like the flu virus has been. No doubt there's a lot of real powerful minds placing themselves at the attention of this, and no doubt we'll find vaccines, treatments, and all of that type of thing. So the virus itself is going to be around, and therefore it's important as well that you build up your antibodies. So the truth is at some point you will be infected by it. There's just no doubt about that. In fact, your body will not be unable to create the antibodies to fight it unless you do get infected. But of course, the infection right now is that when do you get infected? When a virus takes on, it starts to grow exponentially. It wants to live, it wants to breathe, it wants to infect, it wants to grow. And therefore, it's critical time right now. And this is why I believe this whole 15-day lockdown is actually essential, because it could stymie the exponential growth. That if we weren't paying attention, that it could be a lot worse. And we've seen that in places like Italy and China. So the social distancing, the lockdowns, all of those type of things will slow the viruses, absolutely no doubt about it. But will you get it? Probably. Will you die from it? Unless you're actually in one of the high-risk categories? Probably not. But it's the hysteria, it's the panic that is the problem at the moment. So the biggest enemy is not necessarily the virus. The biggest enemy is stupid people. Okay, so people do stupid things when they're actually placed in situations of stress. If you've seen this with panic buying, you'll see this with all sorts of things. In the initial stages, it won't be too bad, because it will be panic buying. It will be people just making silly decisions. However, once it goes past the 15-day point, psychologically, it's a barrier for us, and that's when we start to get really fearful. That's when we start getting fearful from our neighbours as opposed to feeling supportive towards our neighbours. And that is where social disorder can come. That's when people run out of money, they run out of food, they run out of hope. And at that stage, it becomes a real problem. So the second enemy, of course, is you. You've got to do the right things. And the first thing you need to do is to make a decision. And that decision is to survive this. Yeah? You either make that decision or you don't. Are you prepared to do what it takes to be able to survive this? Are you prepared to do what it takes to get you and your family through this? And that is a big decision, because once you make it, all other decisions fall under that category. And it's the intensity and the intent of what you intend to do that will actually determine whether you get out of this things, scot-free or not. So the exposure we've spoken about, your immune system is very, very powerful. Human beings have been around for 2 million years. We've been through the plague, we've been through Spanish flu, we've been through all sorts of things. We've been through earthquakes, we've been through fires. All the elements themselves have been actors, and we're still here. And it's likely that we're still going to be here after this. Yes, the markets may take a tumble, but the markets have always bounced back. We've had depressions, we've had recessions. All of those things will come back. Jobs will come back. We've been through world wars. We've been through all sorts of things as human beings. And the fundamental thing about human beings is that we work together. We actually club together when we have a joint shared experience. And this is what I think is one of the most powerful things about this whole situation, is that it's not confined to one country. With one country, it could be someone else's problem and you just forget about it. This is global. And therefore, we're starting to see that there are global problems, and therefore likely to be global solutions as well. Because you can bet your dollar that everybody is looking for a solution on this one. Everyone has skin in the game. Everyone is going to be looking to do this. So the information that you're going to be getting, you're going to be deluged with information from the internet. It's good that we do actually have social media now, because this is our way of being able to communicate, especially with my family. Most of my family are in Australia. So you must be able to communicate, but also with the information that you're going to get deluged with. You're going to get conspiracy theories, you're going to get a lot of fear, you're going to get a lot of nonsense. And therefore it's really important that you verify that information. And not necessarily just verify it through the people on your contact list, but verify it from other sources. Find out what is real, because human beings are great at being able to deal with a reality once it is actually real. And therefore, it doesn't matter how bad it gets, as long as you know what it is, you can deal with it. And human beings have been able to show throughout the millennia that we're great solution providers. Whatever problems are produced for us, from nature, from other humans, we find solutions for, and we'll find a solution for this as well. So yes, there are some conspiracy theories around. There are a lot of agendas, as I said. There are a lot of people with a lot of very powerful opinions and are using this situation to further agendas. So you need to be aware of that, and I'll be speaking about that at some other point. So essentially what I want to do right now is just introduce this. We're going to be doing this probably on a daily basis, but start now to think about what decisions you're going to make. Are you going to get through this? Are you going to be a victim, or are you going to be a victor? Because that is the only two options that you're going to have. So this is Simon Trezelyan. I'll be speaking to you again very soon. Until that time, out to you.